Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cards and Coffee with Toni. This is today's daily energetic tarot forecast for Thursday, April 7th through Friday, April 8th. Anytime you see this, however, is exactly when you were meant to see it, though, because time is limitless. Okay, good morning. I hope you got your coffee. Cheers. And let's jump into it. Let's get that sage, get it lit and smudge the table. All right. We clear, we bless, we protect this space. We clear, we bless, we protect this space. We clear, we bless, we protect this space. And I'm going to clear, bless, and fully activate and align all my chakras. Yeah, good energy. Yeah, feels nice. All right, now let's set the tone for this reading. Nice. That was good. All right. Now we're going to call forth in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, our angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. We ask you to please be present with us to help us understand and interpret these messages as we receive them. Okay, everybody. Good morning. Well, I have some good news. I did get a new deck. I've been talking about these few decks that I ordered a while ago. What's funny is the deck that I got, I wasn't even expecting for a few weeks. It's this, the Romance Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. I was expecting another deck from Abraham Hicks, but I guess I'm going to have to file a claim on Amazon. So let's go ahead and we're just, since we're going to use the Romance Oracle cards today, let's go ahead and start this day off with Getting into the Vortex Relationship cards by Abraham Hicks. Okay. Let's see what messages Abraham has for us today. Abraham, what messages do you have for the collective today? All right, let's see. Okay. Oh, here's a card I've never seen before. These cards fit into this box just perfectly. Like it was like there's not even a tiny little bit of give room. So sometimes they're hard to get back into the box. Let's see. What card have we got here? We have got number 34. Inspired action is always pleasurable action. I love that. That's gorgeous. That's a beautiful message to start this day with. The dominance of your thoughts is what brings everything to you and what is behind the action that you offer. By seeking good feeling thoughts that align with your source, your action will then always feel good. You cannot muster enough action to compensate for misaligned thought. Repeat that. You cannot muster enough action to compensate for misaligned thought, but action that is inspired from aligned thought is always pleasurable action. So when you take inspired action, it feels good, right? When you're in line with the source, when you're in line with yourself, and when you are, living and walking in your divine life purpose and mission, it feels good, baby. When that energy is just flowing, when there's no resistance to stop you, and you're just chugging right through. Oh yeah. So let's see what that has to go. Where we're heading with this message today. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be reading from the Romance Angels Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. All right, angels, what messages do we have for the collective today? So, because like I said, this is probably going to be a little bit of a relationship reading. Probably my first thought is that if you want to have pleasurable actions in the relationship, you need to take inspired action. You don't need to just try to wing it. You need to kind of step into alignment with your higher self and source and let those actions come down to you through downloads of inspired thinking, right? Okay, let's see what message we're going to get. Angels, source, what messages do we have for the collective today. So some of these cards are still, let me kind of do that. They're still kind of sticking together a little bit. There we go. I just got them. Not even 30 minutes ago, maybe. Watch, I'm going to file a claim with Amazon, and tomorrow I'll probably get that new deck of cards. Isn't that the way it always goes? Oh, not yet. Almost. We just need one card on the table, please, angels. Oh. There we go. Interesting. Okay, let's see what we have. All right, we have retreat. It is time to disconnect from the world. Interesting. Okay, that's very interesting for two reasons. One, because for a lot of us, we're still at home and we're still in quarantine and, in lockdown, basically. So that's interesting because we are all kind of in a retreat, but that's not the message I hear. The message I hear is that you need to retreat within yourself. You need to retreat into yourself, and so that you can hear your source messages, so that you can receive divine downloads and inspired messages. If you're focusing on the external world all around you, you're focusing on what's all around you, you can't hear these beautiful thoughts as you receive them, okay? So you need to retreat, you need to get into some meditation, we need to spend some time in prayer, and we need to work on, and look what is at the bottom of the deck. Hang on, it's sticking to the card beneath it, sorry. Attraction. We need to work on this law of attracting the type of relationship that we want, right? You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Exactly. What is the law of attraction? The law of attraction is not about sitting down and saying, okay, this is what I want. I want this kind of exact relationship, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Because you are attaching yourself to an outcome that you may or may not get. And depending on what, your energy and attracts, and also you have free will, and others have their own energy and free will, right? But if you want to attract a healthy, stable, loving, honest, truthful relationship, well, then you need to start getting your energy in line with being healthy, with being stable, with being loving, with being honest, with being truthful, having integrity. And that's the kind of relationship that you're going to, attract to yourself. The law of attraction. That's exactly what it is. If you want romantic love, you've got to learn to enjoy this moment fully. You have to learn to love the moment that you're in. Okay? If you want love, then learn to love. All right? And then where do we get this law of attraction? How do we step into that law of attraction and pull the things that we want towards us instead of pushing them away? We're going to retreat. We're going to go. The message here is definitely that we need to spend more time getting quiet, getting still with ourselves, disconnecting. It says it's time to disconnect from the world. Right. It's time to unplug. It's time to get into some meditation. I say that, but I also meditate on using YouTube videos. So when I say unplug, what I mean is maybe unplug from the social media. Or if you're going to use a YouTube video perhaps to help you get some of this, hi, you're listening to a YouTube video right now. I'm not saying you shouldn't be on YouTube. What I'm saying is perhaps as you're listening to that video that's helping you, meditate to get this inspired action, then maybe you don't read the comments. We're just here to watch the video and then disengage from the rest of the event, okay? Okay, let's see what the tarot has to say about that. We are going to draw from, let me get it out here, from the Paulina Tarot. Okay. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what messages do we have today? This feels a little heavy, a little sticky. Let's get our Michael's sword out here. Clear any energy that's connected to it. Cut those cords. There we go. That feels better. Oh yeah, that feels a lot better. That's weird. I don't know what. Maybe yesterday's energy was hanging on. Try that again. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what messages do we have? Ah, the Chariot. Interesting. Cancer, that's maybe going on a journey, a new adventure. The Hanged Man, maybe that's that kind of stalemate energy. Uh-oh, hang on. Me and my bad abilities of shuffling here, I tell you. Okay, there we go. Y'all, I actually dropped a card. I dropped 2 cards. What? I am just not good at shuffling. Okay, we're just going to stop shuffling like that. We're just going to shuffle like this. Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what messages do you have for the collective today? We need 3 cards on the table, please. Okay, that's way too many cards. 3 cards, please. This deck has got a little bit of an attitude today. First it feels sticky, and then cards are shuffling weird. And okay, well, I got 2. Let's see what we got. First, ooh, I like that. Number 1, the Magician. And then second, oh, interesting, 2 of Swords. Okay. What's really funny is, y'all, look. 1, 2, 3, 4. Love when spirit plays little games with me like that. Here we go. Nice. Number 10, the World. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have number 4, the Emperor in reverse. All right, let's see what all this is about. Let me get me a sip of coffee first, though. So this is just very easy to understand. Inspired action is always pleasurable action. And then here's, number 1, the Magician, that Aries energy, that fire energy, inspired energy, even if you will. Those fire signs inspire you and, bring that spark of inspiration and energy to the situation. The Magician is about, creating a new life and starting from the beginning, right? Like, what do you want? Well, what's interesting is we're talking about inspired action. Well, that is all that is the story of the Magician, taking inspired action. The Magician can't create magic unless the Magician has spent time getting into alignment, right? You can't, I wish we had Temperance on the table so I could show you. The Magician and Temperance remind me of kind of similar of each other, because Temperance has a woman holding 2 cups, and one's got hot water and one has cold water, and she's changing the hot water into the cold water, or vice versa, either way you want to look at it. And it's alchemy, changing water into wine, changing lead into gold. That's what magic is, right? Magic is taking the energy that you were given, right, and creating something out of it. It's speaking truth into what you want and creating it. So in the past position here, we have, the Magician with inspired action. Perhaps in the past, you've been working hard to, get this inspired action. Maybe you have been spending some time. And in fact, I kind of do hear that message that some of you have been taking the time to work on yourself. You have been taking the time to manifest. And now maybe you're leveling up, actually kind of definitely get that feeling. Let's go forward. I'm going to tell you why I get this feeling. But I get the feeling that here in the past, definitely, some of y'all been working hard on yourself, haven't you? You've been taking this time to, maybe even in the past few months, just to really work on yourself, work on your faith and your spiritual beliefs and your life, your abundance, your, the attraction of what you want and manifestation of what you want. And this is definitely showing you've been taking inspired action. Now, going forward. All right, so we have the 2 of Swords. Swords is that air energy. You've got your Gemini, your Libra, your Aquarius. So she is now, okay, so inspired action, right? You've been taking action, but now here she is, right? This 2 of Swords. she has choices to make. And sometimes she doesn't even want to look at the choices before her that she has to make, right? Like this can be a card of indecision. This can be a card of making difficult choices, like she's got these, clear-cut choices that she has to make, but she doesn't want to have to see herself make them. So this is interesting because here we have this sitting right under retreat. It's time to disconnect from the world. What is she doing? She is literally disconnecting from the world. She's got her blinders on. She's cutting off anybody and anything getting in her way. And so this is what this is trying to tell you. This is trying to explain to you that right now, you've been working perhaps very hard on learning what type of life you want, maybe working on your alignment, on your manifestation tools, on whatever it is. And maybe, you feel like, well, how come I'm not starting to see the fruits of my labor? How come I'm not seeing the results? And maybe you are starting to see just a little bit, perhaps, though not enough. Maybe you're even starting to feel, she can sometimes mean like a stalemate, right? So maybe you're starting to feel that way. Maybe you're starting to feel very like, I'm doing all this work. I'm creating all this magic. Why am I not seeing the results, right? Well, this is what this is here to tell you. It's time to maybe even double down some. It's time to retreat, to disconnect from the world, to put on those blinders, to cut everything out, and to work even harder. It is time to get even more focused. What you want is literally like just past the tips of your finger. You are so close. You are just about to grab it. It's about to be yours, okay? Because you got one, the beginning. Two, that's your duality. That's the co-creation, right? And then going into the present, into the future. Looky here, you got that gorgeous 10 Wheel of Fortune. 10. The end of the cycle, the beginning of the new one. The end of the cycle. See? Here's where you created, the beginning, the spark of inspiration. Here's where you were creating it. And you are still very much right now in this 2 energy, right? This 2 energy is co-creating, right? Looky here. Co-creating. This is that co-creating energy. So you need to cut out all the distractions. This is really and truly telling you right now is the time. You've had these divine ideas. This divinely inspired inspiration. You've been, the magician, this is source energy, right? Number 1, source energy. You've got this divinely inspired inspiration. Well, now it's time for you to get real clear and understand that it's time to cut out all those distractions, double down, get to work. Because as soon as you do, all that stuff that you've been working through, those cycles are going to be ending and something new is beginning. Because look here, the Wheel of Fortune. Love it, love it. This is, change, cycles, the end of one cycle, the beginning of another, So yeah, you may be feeling like, you've been working. Look here, interesting. Look. You got the spinning wheel, right? And then look here. Got that spinning wheel twice back to back. So it's the beginning of the cycle, and now you're at the end of the cycle. You go from 1 to 10, all right? So it's coming. All these inspired ideas you've had, these direct downloads from source, it's time to put it into play. Now is the time. Tune out those distractions, cut off that world, get you some mentors, some friends, get you a group, but work hard. This is that co-creation energy, so you don't have to go at it alone, all right? This is absolutely not about going at it alone, but now is the time to co-create with you and your higher self and source. Now is the absolute 100% time to start working on, it's not just start working on, it's manifestation. It is time, it is time, it is time. You need to be focusing on, get real clear. You've gotten real clear on what you want. Now it's time to create it. Now. Because look what's coming. End of that cycle, beginning of the new one. As soon as you get to work on manifesting it, it's coming and you're going to be on to the next. Look here though. This is what's interesting at the end of the bottom of the deck. We have number 4, the Emperor in reverse. Again, that Aries energy. Look, you got Aries energy here at the beginning, and you got Aries energy at the bottom of the deck too. That spark of energy, that the beginning of that idea, right? He can be very authoritative and very controlling, almost rigid when the emperor's because so the emperor this way is very much the guy in charge. He's in charge of this whole thing, but in this way, he kind of is. He's not very flexible, I guess is the right way to say it. So perhaps maybe the energy that I'm getting from this is that the reason why, even though you've been having these inspired ideas and, direct downloads from source and from your higher self, and you've been getting your alignment on, and now, you're at the point where you're ready to see the results. Maybe the reason you haven't seen the results and now is the time for it to start manifesting is because you've been very rigid in your thinking that, oh, yeah, there it is again. I just heard it. Yeah, absolutely. You've been very rigid in your thinking. You've been expecting one specific type of result. You've been attached to the outcome. We talked about this yesterday. We talked about this the day before. You have to get detached. You have to stop having such a rigid thinking. Be a little bit more flexible, okay? You can't always know where this path is that you're headed, but do know that you are on the path, okay? You're going forward. And it's time. It's absolutely time. And as soon as you recognize that now is the time to take inspired action, you've received these inspired action ideas, now it's time to take action. Cut out all the distractions and take action. Because look what's coming. That wheel of fortune. It's spinning, baby. Your fortune's on the way. All right. You just gotta let go of being attached to just one type of outcome. All right. All right. Let's see. Let's draw one more tarot. Let's see what else we got here. We are going to be reading from the White Sage Tarot. I like the 10 decks because they're much easier to store, but they sure are noisy, aren't they? Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, what messages do we have for the collective today? 3 wands, quick action, coming in fast. Coming in fast. Nine of Pentacles. You remember, I think I might have even said the fruits of your labor. Didn't I say that? I believe I said that a little while ago. That's what that Nine of Pentacles energy is, fruits of your labor. And the Emperor again. And even in this case, he's in reverse as I'm splitting the deck. Again, that's that very rigid thinking. You've been very attached to one outcome. And that's maybe why you haven't seen this manifestation of all your hard work yet. It's time to go back to the drawing board. Absolutely. It's time to go back to the drawing board, get real quiet, and to cut out all the distractions and to cut out your attachment to whatever the result is you think you want, and just be attached to the feeling of the energy of what you want, the feeling of the emotion of what you want, okay? Angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides. We need one card on the table, please. What else do you have for us? I definitely think some of you have been working very hard. You are now leveling up is what this is saying. You're leveling up. You're going to the next level, okay? You're going from that 1 to that 10, right? Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Ace of Cups. Cups, those are your water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. Cups, this is about brand new feelings, brand new cups are your emotion signs, right? This is about, what you feel and your emotions and stuff. This cup is full. This cup is full, and it hasn't been drank at all. It's a new cup of coffee, right? So these are new thoughts, new feelings. What's interesting is because it's underneath, this retreat card and this Two of Swords card. And like I said, this is, Swords is about your thoughts and your focus, right? This is about your spirituality. It's about, you've been on this new path. Yeah. So you've been on this path, right? You've been on this path, and you've definitely gotten farther than you ever have before. Really, you have. You've been getting inspired action ideas and taking pleasurable actions. You have been creating your life. Well, now it's time to even take it a little bit deeper. Now it's time to have some new spiritual intuition, some new thoughts, some new beliefs, because like I said, I feel like so many of you are attached to the outcome of this right here that you're not able to move forward and actually get some kind of anything, right? Like, maybe even praying for a house and you can't even, find the neighborhood you want to live in, much less a house you want to get. So it's time to let go of the outcome that you think you want and just get attached to these downloads. Cut off all the noise and everything, because you're about to get some new digital downloads, okay? Your mind's about to get some new spiritual insight, some intuition is coming your way, all right? And you're going to know exactly what to do to move the ball forward, to kick the ball down the road, and to get that cycle completed so you can go on to the next one. At the bottom of the deck, the King of Cups in reverse. You got this cup energy really strong here. This is, again, those are your water signs, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. He is in reverse. He can be a little bit off balance, or even maybe gotten some bad advice. Okay, maybe. Look what's right underneath that. Again, the Magician. The Magician. I've never seen it in this deck before. That's pretty. Double confirmation. You were about to create this life. So I feel like with this King of Cups here at the bottom of the deck, perhaps as you've been working on leveling yourself up, and as you've been working on creating your own magic and, getting these divinely inspired ideas, inspired actions, I feel like perhaps as you've been listening to somebody, maybe another magician, maybe somebody else who you have a lot of respect for. Like, for instance, even, like me, as you're listening to me through YouTube, perhaps you've taken somebody's advice, okay? And, okay, look here. By the way, look what's underneath that. The Two of Swords. So we've got the Magician and the Two of Swords, and then the Magician and the Two of Swords. Jeez Louise, angels. Okay, we hear you. But maybe you've been taking some advice from someone, even here on YouTube, maybe a spiritual leader, a friend, a family member, whatever. And maybe that advice worked for them. And it probably did. Maybe it made them successful. Maybe, they got the prosperity and all the things that they wanted, and it's just not working out for you. Well, it's time to cut it out. It is time to turn off all the distractions, disconnect from the world, so that you can get real clear on what it is you want. So you can get these, you can hear your own intuition speaking. You've got new ideas heading your way. You've got new inspiration, new intuition coming. It's just time to cut off all this outside jibber jabber, all right? I promise. Because I have a feeling, even though I don't feel like it was intentional at all. I don't feel like if you are taking somebody's advice about spiritual matters, and that person's advice hasn't worked, I don't think they weren't trying to give you bad advice. I mean, they have obviously been the magician in their own life, and they were able to create their own magic. It's just that's not you. That's them. That's their energy. They've got their own alignment. They've got their own connection to themselves and to the source and to their own energy grid all around them. And that's how they manifested. So it worked for them. Perhaps, though, it doesn't work for you. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? It just means that you just need to get in alignment with yourself and with source. Take their advice with a grain of salt and move on. That's all it means. Doesn't mean that they gave you bad advice. Not at all. Okay, let's draw one more oracle card, and we're going to go back to Doreen Virtue one more time. We're going to do Healing with Angels by Doreen Virtue. If you like any of these decks, they will be linked below. Okay. Angels, what messages do you have for us today? Forgiveness. Now, here's a card I'm not even sure if I've ever drawn. Forgiveness. So again, over there at that bad advice, maybe maybe you've been thinking they've been trying to steer you wrong. Maybe whoever's advice you took that didn't work, maybe you're mad at them. Don't be. I'm telling you, if they didn't mean to give you bad advice, forgive them. They didn't do it intentionally. Truth and integrity. They were speaking their truth. They were speaking their integrity. It's just, it didn't work for you. It doesn't mean that they're a bad person or that they're giving you bad advice or that you shouldn't continue to support them and involve yourself with them. Dreams. It's just that you need to chase your own dreams. You need to chase your own dreams. That is the, third time this week we've had that exact card. You need to, understand that the advice they gave you is when they were chasing their dreams. It's time for you to take your own advice, get into your own head and cut out the distractions so you can get these new inspired ideas. Yeah, Archangel Michael. 100%. Anytime Archangel Michael pops up for me, all that means is the angels are here to say, yep, every single thing that is being said right now is divinely inspired. And we are letting you know that Source and the angels are right here in complete agreement. This is 100% on target. What's interesting is, guess what's at the bottom of the deck? Manifestation. But what's more important is that when I flipped it over, it was in reverse. So what that means to me, how the message I hear is you have been trying to manifest. You have had inspired action. You thought you were taking pleasurable actions. You thought you were the magician creating, and you definitely have gotten some advice that got you on that path. And you're starting to understand it, and you're starting to make sense of it, and you're starting to see some baby steps come forward, but maybe not enough. And you're feeling frustrated because you're not manifesting fast enough. And in fact, you may be even blaming this old other magician over here for giving you some bad advice. They're not. They didn't. Okay. They were able to manifest because they took their own advice. You are not able to manifest because you are following their path, not yours. Look what's right underneath this. Trust your path. Study. Yeah, that's what that is. You got to retreat. You need to trust you have your own path. And the reason why you haven't been manifesting because you're not on your path. You're on their path, okay? Get off their path. Get on your own path. Disconnect from the outside world. Get into your own self. Cut out all those distractions and get ready to receive some divinely downloaded inspiration. It's coming. It is on its way, and you are about to create a new world for yourself. It is the end of this cycle. This is done. You are about to start something new, and it is not just new. It's not just going to be a new cycle. It's going to be a divinely blessed cycle. Archangel Michael's, look. I just want to show you, look, not only is Archangel Michael literally looking down at that Wheel of Fortune card, look who's standing right behind him. My Archangel Michael, right? Archangel Michael is here to tell you, it is the end of this cycle. It's time to start something new. Don't worry about if some advice you took in the past isn't working out for you right now, because it wasn't meant for you. It was meant for that magician. You are the magician on this table. It's time for you to manifest what you want. Let's get inside our own heads this weekend. It's time. Get in. People like to tell you, get out of your own head. Nope. I am here to tell you, get inside your head. It is time to manifest, baby. The time has come. All right. I hope you found this helpful. If you did, I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. And if you felt like somebody else might enjoy this video, feel free to share it. Leave me a comment. I kind of feel like I'm up here talking to myself 99.9% of the time. So, it'd be really awesome if you saw this and you watched it. If you wanted to let me know, that'd be cool. And if you'd like notifications when I put new content out, just hit that little bell. I hope you come back tomorrow. And just until then, know that I love you and keep praying. I'll see y'all tomorrow.